Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, March 1st, 2021. We are at the halfway point, they tell me.
Yay.
So we've got a number of bills before us today that we're going to try to get through. And we will start with House Bill, what do we start?
30.
House Bill 30?
Yeah.
Yes, House Bill 30.
House Bill 30 is from Delegate Corman. There's an amendment in your packet that substantially rewrites the bill. The bill came in as a request to create a new Office of Climate Council, just like the Office of People's Council, but with different personnel and different people, also funded by an assessment from Public Service Commission. The amendment from Delegate Corman. Hello.
Yeah, we'll get to those. I'll put them at the end.
The amendment would instead put these new duties concerning climate change and environmental issues within the purview of the existing Office of People's Council, and would slightly increase the annual assessment available to the Office of People's Council in order to accomplish that. And it strikes the rest of the bill. Would require the People's Council to hire at least one assistant People's Council to handle environmental issues, and lets them hire various specialists to help out in coming up with testimony and investigations, and would require the Office of People's Council to consider public safety, economic welfare, and environmental interest of the state and residents, including the state's progress towards meeting its greenhouse gas emissions reduction goals, in addition to its current charge, which is to represent residential and non-commercial electric and gas customers.
Move the amendment, I guess.
Second.
Get it started.
Any discussion? The amendment? If not, all in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded for favorable as amended for House Bill 30. Any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none. Madam Vice Chair.
Yes.
Delegate Fisher.
No.
Delegate Brooks.
Yes.
Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Turner. Delegate Turner.
Yes. Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Carey.
Yes.
Delegate Jackson.
Yes.
Delegate Pippy.
No.
Delegate Mouch.
No.
Delegate Wilson.
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria.
No.
Delegate Branch.
Aye.
Delegate Valderrama.
Aye.
Delegate Walker.
Yep.
Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Adams.
No.
Delegate Arentz.
No.
Delegate Fennell.
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Howard.
No.
Delegate Crosby.
Aye.
And Delegate Watson.
Aye.
Motion carries. House Bill 33.
This is a bill jointly assigned with the Environment and Transportation Committee. ECM is primary. This is the carbon tax, which we've heard for several years.
Move unfavorable.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded for an unfavorable on House Bill 33. Any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Vice Chair.
Yes.
Delegate Watson.
No.
Delegate Crosby.
Aye on the unfavorable.
Delegate Howard,
Aye on the unfavorable.
Delegate Charkoudian,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Fennell,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Aaron's,
Aye on the unfavorable.
Delegate Adams,
Aye.
Delegate Chi,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Walker,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Valderrama,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Branch,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
Yes.
Delegate Pippi,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
No.
Delegate Turner,
No, and can I ask a question?
can you ask a question?
Yes, because I'm not sure about this bill.
What's your question?
What does this bill do again?
We're a little past that at this point, and that's a very difficult explanation at this point. There is no short answer to it.
There's no short answer?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I'm gonna give you a short answer. No.
Right. Delegate Queen,
No.
Delegate Fisher,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Brooks,
Aye.
motion carries. House Bill 37,
House Bill 37 lowers the threshold for the application of the prevailing wage law from $500,000 to $250,000 and repeals the requirement that a certain percentage of funding on a project be from state funds. Under current law, there's a 50% threshold for other types of projects and a 25% threshold.
hold on a second, Laura. Delegate Valderrama, do you have a request of me?
I have a request of favorable as move favorable as amended and Laura,
No, that's not your request of me. What is your request of me?
to move favorable.
I think your request is to hold because the party is still talking.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Okay.
They
All
didn't.
right, then I request to
Okay.
hold. But can
All
I
right.
ask a question? May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that Laura received that recent amendment that was,
It's in the voting packet.
got it.
Yep, they called this morning requesting they're talking, the sides are talking, and they want more time.
Understood.
All right, House Bill 41.
Sorry about that. House Bill 41 establishes the task force to study the creation of a Maryland State Bank. There is one amendment from the sponsor, which adds to the charge of the task force.
Mr. Chairman,
Who called me?
Delegate Adams,
Delegate Adams.
can we hold that bill so I can take a look at it? I also know there's some questions that are being asked about the bill.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Which one was that? That's being
41.
41.
Okay, got it.
House Bill 85.
House Bill 85 adds Baltimore County correctional officers and detention officers to the definition of public safety employee for purposes of enhanced permanent partial disability benefits under the workers' compensation law. We have a letter in support from the delegation.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir.
it's Delegate Impalaria. So
Yes, sir.
just give a simple example for anybody who's wondering about this bill. So you have a police officer come in with a locked up person into that discharge area where they discharge them in the garage, and a correctional officer is ready to take control of that person. A fight breaks out, and the police officer and the correctional officer suffer the same exact injuries. At this time, right now, the correctional officer will not get the same exact benefits, even though he's doing the same exact job and the injuries are exactly the same. So this just brings them on par with the regular law enforcement. So I personally think it's a good bill. And, correctional officers unfortunately have to deal with the criminal element every single day that they're there, from the minute they get there till they leave, where police officers deal with them when they run into them. So, I think it's a good bill. And with that, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Move
Sure.
favorable.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded for favorable for House Bill 85. Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
No.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Pippy,
Aye.
Delegate Mounts,
Unmute, Mouse. You're muted.
He's thinking.
I was rubbing my chin, sorry. Yes.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Delegate Mount?
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
Aye.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Aaron's,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson, Watson, Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 97. House Bill 97.
I don't know whose bill it is.
I think this is
Little-
Bob. Is he on?
Sorry, I had Delegate Motz's problem. I was talking without being unmuted, which probably makes the bill easier to understand. Anyway, this is the bill from Delegate Learman that would create an Office of Digital Inclusion in DHCD as the successor to the Office of Rural Broadband. The Rural Broadband Fund remains in place, but also there'll be two additional funds: an Office of Digital Inclusion and a Digital Inclusion Fund and a Digital Connectivity Fund. All three funds will be retained within DHCD to have their current funds and also receive federal funds for these purposes, both for outreach and for putting fiber in the ground through local government support. The amendments are fairly technical, but they're long. Mostly what she did, and this conforms actually to the bill Senate 766 that was voted favorable with amendments by Finance on Friday. Essentially, the amendments clean up a number of the standards. They're going to suggest that enhanced broadband standards should match or exceed federal standards by 2026. Provide access to these services, have some various data sharing and study requirements for the new office. Try to get, as I say, 98% conductivity to universal, affordable, reliable broadband, not later than the end of 25. And also have some reporting requirements. Require that the office consult with a number of agencies, State Library, Department of Commerce, Ag, Health, MML, and MACO in doing all of this, and provide extensive annual reports to the General Assembly. That's essentially what the amendments do, all 15 pages of them.
Move the amendments if that's the right motion at the moment.
I'd like to hold so I can look at it more. It's 15.
Second.
All right. That's fine. Moved and seconded for favorable on the amendments. You want to hold the bill and the amendments?
Oh, we can move the amendments, I guess. I mean, that's fine. It was properly moved and seconded. But I would like some more time to look at this bill, especially in light of the, like Bob said, 15 pages of the amendment.
No, that's fine. Let me go ahead and adopt the amendment, and then we'll special order it.
All right, thank you, Chair.
All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. All right, bill's held.
Will we be able to see a reprint on the computer by adopting the amendment?
I will be able to send you one. Let's put it that way.
Okay, all right, that might be helpful to
Yeah,
everybody. Yeah.
Mr.
Chairman, can I also ask, just have a question for Bob?
Sure.
Bob,
Yep.
does the bill as amended apply only to fiber in the ground, or does it?
No. No, it's whatever technology will allow. I was saying fiber in the ground, just comparison to iron in the ground, just what you talk about with power plants. It's not specifically fiber, it's digital broadband, however that is best brought out to the areas.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. No, you're very interested in that over the years. And I think you'll want to take a look at this bill.
Thank you.
I'll send the reprint out later. Okay.
Thanks,
Chairman,
Bob.
I have a quick question for Bob, if possible.
Sure. Yep.
What was the fiscal impact on the bill, and did it change with the amendments?
I haven't had a redone fiscal advice. It does still get rid of the office of rural broadband, but it replaces it with the Office of Digital Inclusivity, which is essentially the same thing, except it's going to be looking at even more of the state. The Rural Broadband Fund is retained and no funds are being transferred from that. In addition, that fund, as well as the two new funds, will have their interest stay in the funds rather than reverting to the general fund at the end of the year. But you'll want to take a look at the reprint when I send it to you. Okay. This does not deal with the trenching issue that comes up in a bill we hear on Thursday. That's something else.
Delegate Aaron's.
Thank you. Bob, where are these new funds coming from?
The new funds were, according to testimony, the new funds actually were essentially lockboxes set up for federal funding coming down the pike.
Well, how'd that lockbox work over there?
That's above my, that's outside of my expertise. I don't do political statements. So.
Okay. Is there any
Bob,
lockbox on these?
Was that 1.3 million in the lockbox? Is that what you're referring to, the 1.3 million fiscal note?
I'd have to take a look at that. My guess is yes, but I would have to go back and take a look at it. And we can also see if there's going to be a revised fiscal estimate. As I say, the Senate bill was voted and it should be on the floor this week from in the other side, Senate 66. So we may actually have an update on it by the time we would be taking it up on in committee.
Mm-hmm.
We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's held. Okay. 280.
280.
Yeah. So ECM is secondary on HB 280. ENT is primary. They voted favorable. This bill excludes incinerator ash from the definition of recyclable materials and prohibits counties from using resource recovery facilities to meet certain waste reduction and recycling goals. There are no amendments.
Move favorable.
What was the committee vote? What was the ENT committee vote?
Let me see. Oh, shoot. 16-7.
I figured. Okay.
What are the odds of it being 16-7 here too? House Bill 280, motion and a second for a favorable. Any discussion? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Aye.
Delegate Fisher,
No.
Delegate Queen,
Yes, sorry, yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Pippy,
No.
Delegate Mount,
No.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria,
That's a no.
Delegate Branch,
Yep.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Aaron's,
Nope.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
No.
Delegate Crosby,
Aye.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
16-7.
Amazing.
Shocker.
Imagine that.
All righty. House Bill 314.
All right, ECM is also secondary on HB 314, EMT is primary. They voted favorably. This is a plastic bag reduction bill. Do you want me to re-go over that, Mr. Chair?
Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't.
Okay, there was an additional amendment that we were taking up from Delegate Crosby, which specified that plastic bags can be provided by a farm or orchard that contain fruits or vegetables that were
Oh,
grown
yeah.
by that farm or orchard. And that's it.
Move the amendment.
Second.
Any discussion on the amendment? If not, all in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Move favorable as amended.
Second.
I got a question
Uh,
here.
Delegate Walker,
I see Crosby might have had his hand up before me if he wanted to.
No, you're good, Delegate Walker. I'll go after you.
I'm just trying to be clear. So this is doing away with plastic bags, correct, in grocery stores?
Correct,
And they cannot charge a consumer for them, right?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Delegate Crosby.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, Council, on Section F that preempts every other jurisdiction in terms of thickness. So Chestertown has a 2.25 mil. And the way I read this is once we pass this bill, that will go away and they'll have to go to a 4 mil, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir,
Delegate Adams, what's the bill's effective date?
When it goes into, well, the effective date versus when businesses actually have to do this, businesses actually have to do it February 1st, 2021.
you mean 2022, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I read the wrong thing. So sorry about that. Give me 1 second.
I see you've started
It is
with the
July.
beer already.
It is July 1st, 2022. I'm sorry about that.
July 1st, 2022?
Correct. My apologies.
Thank you, Chair. Delegate Impalaria, then Delegate Howard.
Yeah, I just want to be clear on this. This is the bill, a change back from the environmentalists saying paper bags are bad, plastic bags are good. Now they've turned that around and they're saying plastic bags are bad and paper bags are good. So they've changed their decision and we're going to be healthier and better because of this. That's all.
Delegate Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So legal, what if a business has existing plastic bags that are outside of the 4 mil? What if they have, what if they have those in stock after July 2022?
There's nothing in this bill that says that they're grandfathered in or something like that. I guess they just have excess inventory.
Throw them in the trash. Throw them away. What's the fine for
Civil penalty not exceeding $500.
Per bag or per instance? Or-
No, at a single point of sale is a single violation.
Mhm. Okay, so if they have, you know, a couple thousand bags and they just put them in the trash.
I don't know what they would do with the bags,
There's
but
not-
I
they're
know
not
that they
grandfathered.
cannot use them.
Okay.
Delegate Aaron's?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think Delegate Walker asked a question. Who's paying for this?
I'm sorry, what do you, can you?
He didn't ask that question. He said, so the consumer's not paying for it. Do we know who is paying for this?
No, it's not stated in the bill who's paying for this.
Is this sort of like if we do something with utility, we can't go back to the utility to pay for it, but they'll pay for it? My concern is the ultimate person paying for this bill is you and me. And if we really believe that that they won't be paying for it, I just would like to know where that money's coming for these bags if I need them. I just don't know where we'll get it. If it's not being paid for by me, the consumer, I'd like to know if the bill states where it's coming, who's paying for it.
It is not specified in the bill where it's.
Does
coming
anybody
from.
have an answer? I mean, I just think that we're foolish to believe that this isn't going to go right to the consumer. And I think that when you look at something like this, you look at the problems with plastic bags, the shortages, the what have yous of plastic bags versus paper. I just don't know that this bill is something that's really a benefit in the long run for anybody other than, I don't know who, maybe a few won't blow out in the yard, but I won't be supporting the bill in any event. So the answer is you and I are paying for it. And I want that to be, I want somebody to tell me why that's not true, maybe, but I don't think.
I don't know. We're paying for it now. I mean, if a business owner is, using plastic or paper and are buying the bags to
Now
be able
I'm going
to
to pay double
whatever.
for it. I'm going to pay twice for it now. Because they are reducing prices because of this. If I'm paying for it now, they're only going to increase when I have to pay for it again.
Why do you have to pay for it again? I'm not understanding your question. I'm
Well,
going to go to the
like-
grocery store and after this goes into effect and get a paper bag instead of a plastic bag. The grocers are going to buy the paper bags. I'm sure it's somehow incorporated into their cost of doing business. I have no doubt that I somehow, end up paying for it. But I think the only people that, the only lovely county that makes me pay for plastic bags at the moment is mine.
Yeah.
So as a result, I tend to bring my own bags with me, or at least try.
I just want to remind us, I think we talked about this at the, during the hearing that, many jurisdictions are not allowing you to recycle plastic bags anymore, right? Baltimore County doesn't. I think there are others that don't. So we talked about the fact that plastic bags are going away. We can't, we're not able to even recycle them. So it makes
I don't have that
sense to
problem in my
stop
county,
it.
but I appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, this is really new. It's a new thing because at one time you didn't pay for plastic bags or paper bags. And suddenly the counties are now charging you. So whoever's paying for it is probably 9 times out of 10 the business, because prior to this, that's who paid for it.
Mr. Chair, what I would add is, in terms of this, I think it was ironic what Delegate Dumas said, Vice Chair Dumas said. I mean, right now, we don't charge for it, so it's something that the stores will ever been eating the cost. And I've come a long way on this one, seeing the type of bags they offer in the state of, I think Delaware has banned plastic bags. And by them banning the plastic bags, they give out this bag that I thought was plastic, but it's thicker and you can be used 125 times. And I think that's going to go a long way. So I've kind of come 180 on this issue, and I'm ready to vote yes for the bill.
I'll just go. I still think we're good. There is a paper bag shortage. We've seen that. And I think it would be naive on our part to think that they won't charge you more based on the fact that paper bags will cost more. And it just seems like a little bit deceptive marketing on the behalf of the stores to tell you that you're not going to pay for it, because you will.
I mean, Delegate Arch, you're over there on the shore a little bit. Have you seen the bags they give out in Delaware?
No, I have not. I apologize.
All right. Will anybody that's over there on the shore speak up, kind of be honest about the type of bags they issue at the Walmarts and stuff like that in Delaware? I mean, thicker version of a plastic bag. If this a half a penny more to the consumer for something like this, I think you know.
So, Mr. Chairman, I have a question too.
Delegate Fisher.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. One of my questions is there any updated information about the paper bag shortage that at least we're being told about, that I keep hearing about? Is there information about that, about what that cost could be to the small businesses? And then added to that is kind of my next comment, which they're kind of interconnected. And that is, we just spent a year with government telling us that Walmart is essential, but the Hallmark store down the street that's also sold in Walmart is not. The GameStop that's down the street that Walmart also sells that stuff is not. And this is kind of like more regulatory capture, because I'm sure if you're Walmart, you're going to be able to do just about anything in your business model to modify and adapt to these kinds of changes. And it's going to be a rounding error, but it's not going to be a rounding error for the small businesses. And so the regulatory capture that we're engaging in right now is one in which it puts the small guys and the small business women as well at yet another disadvantage to the Walmarts of the world. So this idea that is being put forward that, you know, that the small businesses are just going to have to suck it up and it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's a big deal. It's just not a big deal for those who shop at Walmart and for Walmart itself. But for the small guys, it's a big deal.
I mean, get out of here. I'm sorry. I didn't want to debate. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Delegate Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just speaking from Howard County, who enacted a bag fee not too long ago. Stores now offer paper and plastic. People pay for it. And I think the biggest thing that we're seeing is that people are bringing their own bags, or they're just not taking a bag without thinking it through. If they can put it under their arm, they do that. So I think we remember this is an environmental initiative. Our businesses have been able to adjust in all areas of the county, big and small. And I think it's way past time to do this.
Delegate Howard.
Thanks. I just want to, again, speak to, you know, we got some emails and things like that about paper versus plastic. And I retorted to that and said it's a supply chain issue, and there was a lot of silence. And again, there's just article after article after article. Don't believe me, look it up. Talking about where these bags bans have been enforced, New Jersey, New York, and you know, there aren't enough paper bags. There just aren't. And what's going to happen is, and it's just a supply argument, the Safeways of the world and the Walmarts of the world are going to order it all, and the smaller people, the little carry-out restaurants, they're going to get hammered for the $500, period, because they're not going to be able to get them. They're going to be squeezed out. And you know, quite frankly, and I don't say this often, but because there is no grandfathering, I think it's poorly crafted, and I plan on voting against it. Look, the environmental argument is lost on me. I mean, I live near the Bay. We all enjoy the Bay. We eat from the Bay. So this argument, you know, oh, well, it's for the Bay, you're for the Bay, you're not for the Bay. That's not it at all. To me, it's a supply chain issue. And I get what your Delegate Watson is saying, but at the end of the day, these bigger wholesalers, the Costco's of the world, 1 million of these bags, 2 million of these bags statewide. And and the smaller retailers that go through 3,000 of these bags a year, 2,000 of these bags a year are going to be squeezed out. And you better believe they're going to be the ones in the midst of trying to recover from all of the craziness that's been going on. They're going to be the ones hit with $500, not Walmart, not Costco with a whole floor full of $1,500 an hour lawyers in New
Does
York,
Costco use bags?
wherever. It's just an example. You can
They don't use bags, and they're smart.
we can split hairs later, but the point is okay, Safeway, Courtney, Walmart.
Delegate Howard.
Hold on, guys.
Split hairs.
Hold on.
No,
Hold on.
since you want to split hairs.
Hold on. Settle down. Let's just be honest about this because this is not a new bill. We did this last year ad nauseum. This is point blank. We're at third reader debate and we know it. I pretty much know what this vote is going to be, as do you all. So we're not convincing anybody of anything. This is not new information. This is third reader floor debate that we're engaging in. We got a pretty extensive agenda that we still need to vote on. I'm more than happy for us to keep trying to, if we just want to hear ourselves talk, but we all know we're not changing one vote here. We're not changing one vote, so we can entertain ourselves, but this is, if we're being blunt, this is pointless. That's it.
No.
Please continue, Delegate Howard.
Okay, I vote no. I mean, what you're saying is 100% right. Like, you know, you're gonna split hairs with me, you're gonna split hairs with me. Fact of the matter is, science is there, the data is there, it's a supply chain issue. Small businesses are gonna get hammered.
Mr. Chairman, I just had one, it's a council question. It's pretty straightforward.
Yes, sir.
If I may. My question is, I just want to verify the amount of the fine if you're caught, you know, a small business is caught providing plastic bags that you can put your goods inside of.
It is $500.
Okay.
Wait a minute, $500, but for a single point of sale. So not every individual packet or every individual bag is $500. If you do
Okay.
it once and you have 10, it's $500.
Okay, so if is there something in the bill now that if there is indeed a paper bag shortage, in that these businesses who are primarily the small businesses cannot get paper bags, and obviously they can't use plastic bags, is there something in the bill that waives that $500 fine if they?
No, there isn't, but I will say that, so the penalty, a first violation is a written notice. And then if the person doesn't correct the violation within 3 months after receipt of the notice, then the $500 starts coming into effect.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks. Delegate Brooks. You're muted, Delegate Brooks.
Yes.
Delegate Fisher.
No.
Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Turner.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Carey.
Yes.
Delegate Jackson.
Yes.
Delegate Pippy.
No.
Delegate Mouts.
No.
Delegate Wilson.
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria.
No.
Delegate Branch.
Aye.
Delegate Valderrama.
Aye.
Delegate Walker.
Yes.
Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Adams.
No.
Delegate Aaron's.
Nope.
Delegate Fennell.
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Howard.
No.
Delegate Crosby.
Aye.
Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 647, please.
Yes, House Bill 647 repeals the $100 fee for filing articles of dissolution for a business. There are no amendments to the bill.
Is there a motion?
Move favorable.
Second.
Moved and seconded for favorable. So I can speed this up a little bit. Does anyone wish to be recorded in opposition to the favorable motion for House Bill 647?
I have a question.
Delegate Watson.
Just, I heard that there was a revision to the fiscal note. I was wondering if I'm planning to vote for this bill, but I was just wondering if anybody had that information or could explain that.
No, I have not seen that.
Delegate Watson, sounds like council is saying she hasn't heard that was going to be a revision to the fiscal.
Okay.
I mean, I think our discussions have been, it is a high fiscal note, but the discussions have been that SStat says the fiscal note is wrong. And that it's not going to cost, that they can continue to work and that it's not going to be a hit to the state. And that in fact, the way the fiscal note is drafted, it is really sort of not so much made up numbers, but just here are the number of people that pay and we just deleted it. And this is the one for dissolution and cancellation.
Wait for me.
And I guess what their testimony also was is that they spend more money chasing people to sort of get the dissolution paperwork done than it's going to cost to actually just not have to get the fee. And that they would like to be able to streamline the process so that literally somebody who's dissolving a corporation can just check a box, you know, on the internet and be done with it. And they'll be able to clear the record for companies that have dissolved. At least that's my recollection. I don't know if Delegate Wilson, whose bill it is, has any other.
I think Delegate Watson probably heard it all before. That's pretty much it. As far as saving the county money, the county's money as well. They didn't go into SStat, didn't go into that, but we know there's a collections issue as well as actually knowing how many open businesses we have because of this.
Thank you, and I'm ready to move on.
All right. Does anyone want to be recorded in opposition to the favorable for House Bill 647? Anybody? If not, all present voted aye. Let's try House Bill 648, please.
House Bill 648 from Delegate Wilson. Electric cooperatives meetings alterations lets electric co-ops hold their meeting or their member meetings virtually. There is an amendment that requires the co-op to get the approval of their members as to what form of voting they'll have.
Is there a motion on the amendment?
Move favorable.
Amendment.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Move the bill.
Motion carries. Is there a motion on the bill as amended?
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded for favorable as amended for House Bill 648. Any discussion? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Aaron's,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
Aye.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Branch,
Aye.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Mounts,
Yes.
Delegate Pippi,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, Delegate Wilson, you've exhausted all of your will committee.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Chair. I'm aware of that. Thank
All
you.
righty. House Bill 658.
House Bill 658 establishes a work group to, among other things, identify new and emerging digital technologies that are shaping the manufacturing world and how to work with them. There is one suggested amendment to strike the Department of Legislative Services from staffing this bill and to have the Department of Commerce staff the bill.
Move the amendment.
Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. OBA.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Discussion. If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'm so sorry. I just want to clarify something. I thought there was another amendment submitted to the committee. I want to know if you have received it. It's to add one representative from small minority owned manufacturing business, just to codify that, to be certain that we have that representation. Did that reach the committee beforehand? I just want to make sure.
No, I have not seen that amendment.
Okay, well, I'm fine with moving forward with the bill, but I apologize if my office did not send you ahead of time.
Delegate Crosby.
Aye.
Delegate Howard.
No.
Delegate Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Fennell.
Yes.
Delegate Aaron's.
No.
Delegate Adams.
No.
Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Walker.
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama.
Aye.
Delegate Branch.
Aye.
Delegate Impalaria.
No.
Delegate Wilson.
Yes.
Delegate Mouts.
No.
Delegate Pippi.
No.
Delegate Jackson.
Yes.
Delegate Carey.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Turner.
Yes.
Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Fisher.
No.
And Delegate Brooks.
Aye.
Motion carries. House Bill 659.
Mr. Chair, could I just ask a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder if some of my colleagues realize what you just voted on. That bill was just to establish a work group to advance Maryland's manufacturing. That's it, you know. All right, let's move on to the next bill.
House Bill 659.
House Bill 659 bans a manufacturer or distributor from prohibiting a dealer from listing a vehicle on the dealer's website at the purchase price, coercing a dealer to list a vehicle on their website for a different price, or take adverse action on a dealer for listing a vehicle at a certain price. There are no amendments to this bill.
Mr. Chairman?
Unfavorable. That doesn't mean we can't discuss
Who
it.
called Delegate Adams?
No, this vice chair moved unfavorable.
Do we?
Hold on,
Second.
Mr. Chair, I also have okay, I guess we're in discussion now.
Yeah, absolutely should be discussion.
Yes, Delegate Pippi.
Well, if there's, I mean, does everyone, I'm new to the committee, so does everyone get a hold if there needs to be more information? If
you want to request a hold, we can do that.
I'd like to hold it if there's a goal to move the bill unfavorable.
That is the motion that's before, so if you want to hold, this is the time.
I'll hold it.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just for clarity, can I ask a question?
Sir.
I've heard of a hold if you want some more information on something, but a hold because the bill's about to go down?
Right. That's what I was asking.
Well, it doesn't really matter. When we run out of time, that's when I'll do it, but I'm not gonna, you know.
All right, what particular
there's
information
latitude
do you
now.
want? I'm so sorry. Mr. Chair, may I ask a question?
Yes.
What particular information are you looking for? Or whoever is asking for?
Delegate Pippi.
Oh, okay, sorry. Delegate Pippi, what information can we get?
Well, I'd like to get, because I was blasted with additional emails, at the last minute from dealers. I saw one email that looked like a cut and paste from Maryland NADA. And I just would like to get some specifics from the industry. I'm hearing, conflicting testimony, but I don't like to make a rash decision. I mean, I thought there was some merits to the bill, and I want to make sure that I make a good decision on it. It seems like the committee's kind of split on it, so.
We're really not.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. I just want to share one piece of new information with this committee because you saw an email from Vice Chair today about a dealer's conversation with her. And also you probably received a letter from the Maryland Association of Dealers. I just want to let you know that right before this meeting today, I got a call from a dealer who owns several dealerships outside of Montgomery County in one of my neighboring counties. He called to thank me and he confirmed the fear that dealers have for retaliation. And that was the reason so many of them don't want to speak out, because currently the manufacturers can unilaterally change the franchise agreement and the dealers would have no way to go around it. If you want to sell their cars, they can do whatever they want to you. So it's really lopsided power imbalance, and our job is not to mess with franchise agreement as much as to protect the public's interest. I just want to appeal to your sense of public responsibility to protect the public interest, to transparent and truthful information so that local dealers can be empowered to advertise the cars that they have paid for on their own lots, on their own website, for that level of consistency, especially this day and age when so many people go for online shopping. And you should also know another piece of information, which is this association that takes so much money from its own members also takes tremendous amount of money from manufacturers. So you should question who they really represent when they appeal to you.
Mr. Chairman, he did ask to hold the bill, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, if he's going to hold the bill, I mean, let's hold it. If that's I don't know why we got a lot of discussion if he said.
We need a lecture.
I mean.
Fair enough. That was on me. Let's go to House Bill 768.
Okay, let's see. House Bill 768. This is the Montgomery County Community Aggregation Bill. There's an amendment from the delegation to change some dates, moving them around within the bill. Otherwise, the bill is pretty much in the same posture that we had it last year. I'm aware of one handmade change that needs to be made to one date in terms of the final termination of any program that goes forward. Should be the end of, it should be in 3030, not 3031. That was a clerical error in the amendment preparation process.
Move the amendments.
Second.
Moved and seconded. The amendments for House Bill 768. Any discussion? Not. All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Move
On
the
the
bill
bill-
as, sorry, move the bill as amended.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, does the bill just apply to Montgomery County?
It does.
Got it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Delia Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to share, I remember last year when this bill's coming up, there was some talk that, and maybe the sponsor of the bill or Montgomery County can briefly give me a yes or no, that if this took place in Montgomery County, without question, would almost have to affect Prince George's County because we use some of the same carriers.
Mr. Chair, I can try to answer that question.
Delegate Charkoudian.
Yeah, thank you, Delegate Walker. That had been something that PEPCO had mentioned. We've gone through extensively with the Public Service Commission, the Office of People's Counsel, and with PEPCO, and have a number of components in the bill to make sure that none of the remaining SOS customers, whether that's Prince George's County or people in Montgomery who choose to stay on SOS, are affected by it. And so at this point, the PSC is neutral, Office of People's Counsel is in favor of the bill, and PEPCO and BG&E shifted to neutral over the interim.
I believe the specific mechanism dealt with volumetric risk and the ability of Public Service Commission to require the delay of implementation across several different tranches.
To schedule it to happen slowly, that's right.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Adams.
Is this the bill that requires the customers to opt in to take advantage of this pilot
Opt out.
program?
It requires them to opt out.
Oh, okay. So they're put in place to take the program. Does committee council have any ideas to what the adoption rate would actually be in this scenario? Are there examples of laws that we put in place like this that require somebody to opt out? And if
Nothing
so,
that immediately comes to mind. That might be something that you could find on the national level. I'm not aware of something specific in Maryland.
Thank you, Chair.
Right. Anyone else? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
No.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Arentz,
No.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Branch,
Aye.
Delegate Impalaria,
No.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
No.
Delegate Pippi,
No.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
No.
and Delegate Brooks. Delegate Brooks,
You're muted.
Okay, yes.
motion carries. Let's go to House Bill 777.
Power plant research program. This is setting a deadline for the DNR's PPRP and the Department of the Environment to study and report back to specified matters in the preparation of process for a Public Service Commission's certificate of public necessity, convenience and necessity process, 6 months. The amendment from Delegate Brooks changes the standard for asking for a waiver or a delay to be good cause rather than undue hardship.
Move the amendment.
Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, it's Aaron's.
Delegate Arentz.
Yeah, can somebody help me with what good cause or discretion? What am I looking at when somebody says good cause?
Well, I think it's probably stronger than a really good reason, but it's something less than beyond a reasonable doubt. I think it's simply a phrase that Public Service Commission does use somewhat, courts use somewhat. Essentially, it's not just I stubbed my toe today.
The other question I had, does this speed up solar? Does it slow it down, or does it give more thought to it? Because I was unclear when I was reading the bill.
The testimony was that there seemed to be some projects where MDE or DNR would be slow walking projects without responding to PSC. Now, could that actually speed up a solar project? Yes, I suppose it could, but it might also speed it up to a negative finding. All they were doing was trying to provide a harder deadline for the reports from the two departments back to PSC. It wasn't saying they have to go one way or the other.
My biggest concern is I live in a very rural area with a lot of farms, and I'm just worried about whether this will hurt them or help them in the long run. I get the idea that you want to be scrutinize these things, but I just worry that it's going to speed it up a little bit faster than I would care.
That's certainly a concern.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just had a quick question. I was reading the fiscal note. Why do the expenditures go up? Why is it costing more? Just because they have to hire more people, I guess. It doesn't say that, but
Presumably,
That's
yes.
usually the answer.
in order to get things done faster, or maybe they just don't like the bill. I don't know. That's up to them.
got it. Thanks.
Actually, in the fiscal note, it is because of more positions. They say they need 2 more people, salaries and fringe benefits of 155,000, consultant costs of 150,000, and other operating expenses of 11,000. And that somehow all equals 316,856.
All righty. All right. Looks like we got a favorable with amended motion,
Yes.
House Bill 777. If there is no further discussion, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
No.
Delegate Brooks,
Yes.
Delegate Watson, Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Aye.
Delegate Howard,
No.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Arentz,
No.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Branch,
Aye.
Delegate Impalaria.
Do I have any no's left or have I used them all up?
You got a couple more left.
Okay, and that would be a no.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
No.
Delegate Pippi.
No.
Motion carries.
The floor is on there.
House Bill 779.
House Bill 779 reduces the $300 fee that businesses have to pay for filing their annual report required by SDAT. It reduces it over the course of 4 fiscal years from $300 to $100. There are no amendments.
Move unfavorable.
Second.
Moved and seconded for an unfavorable for House Bill 779. Discussion? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Pippi,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Mouts,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Impalaria,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Adams,
No.
Delegate Arentz,
Nope.
Delegate Howard,
No.
Delegate Watson,
Yes on unfavorable.
Delegate Crosby,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Chi,
I'm going to vote no on the unfavorable.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Branch,
Aye.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
No on the unfavorable.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Yes on the unfavorable.
Mr. Chair, I had the wrong bill. I apologize. Please record me as a no on the unfavorable.
Card laid is a card played.
Interesting.
Lot of
1410,
bills.
I think.
A lot of bills.
1310.
9, 10.
Okay.
Correct.
Cold CT.
Oh, that's true. 1310.
I
Okay.
saved them last time.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I know you did. I know you did.
Motion carries. House Bill 781.
House Bill 781 makes some clarifying and substantive changes to the Maryland Corporations Law. First, the bill clarifies that virtual meetings can be held in person and virtually at the same time. Second, it provides that a charter of a corporation may require where internal claims may be brought. And third, it clarifies that opting in after acquisition shares of a closed-end fund does not make the shares control shares. There are no amendments to the bill.
Move favorable.
Second.
Moved for favorable for House Bill 781. Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Yes.
Delegate Fisher,
Yes.
Delegate Quaid,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Pippy,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Walker,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
Yes.
Delegate Aaron's,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
and Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 832.
Delegate Fraser Hidalgo actually has some amendments he's working on for this one. They were pretty,
Hold.
that would be a hold, I
Yes, it's
believe.
a whole.
All righty.
What number was that?
832. That's the electric school bus pilot program.
All right, 839 then.
You're
Tiffany, you're
muted.
muted.
Been there.
Sorry, I said the whole thing. HB 839 provides an additional year for a business to file their annual report with SDAT before being put on the forfeiture list. There are no amendments.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No amendments, you said?
No amendments.
Okay, move favorable.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Delegate Adams.
Delegate Adams.
So the question I have for council is, to be clear, if I'm a business wanting to, or if I'm a citizen wanting to look at the status of an entity and I go to SSTAT and look it up, if it shows that the organization is in good standing, are they actually in good standing?
Well, yes, but they're not supposed to be technically, because what the law says is that if you don't file your annual report for 1 year, you should be put on the forfeiture list. So SSTAT said that in their code revision process, they just found that this was happening, and normally they just give people an extra year. So they're trying to be they're trying to be consistent with code. So that's why they're saying we're going to give them the year that we've been giving them.
Okay.
So that we can be proper.
So this is a sort of a COVID bill. In other words, a lot of businesses are, because you understand when you file for SSTAT, that's you're filing your property tax forms, your personal property filing, I'm sorry. And so there is a nature to that filing that has bearing, right? So when a business isn't doing that, it's not that, it's not as easy as saying, "Oops, sorry, forgot." There's something they didn't do that they were supposed to do. Now, my question would be, are there any parts of Maryland law that would require a business to be in good standing And I've got some personal thoughts on that sort of thing. But I mean, if this is a COVID bill, I mean, I'm normally a pro-business guy. I'm just raising an observation that it's more than a notion to have your organization go forfeit in SSTAT's world. So, thank you.
Delegate Brooks.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Council, that still would, that company still, that business still would register as not being in good standing, right?
So currently, if somebody does not file after 1 year, technically they would not be in good standing, but the way that SSTAT has been doing it, they would be in good standing. So they saw back in the code that they're actually not doing this right. So what they're trying to do is just make sure that these people actually are in good standing, or that they are not violating the law by saying these people are in good standing when they're not.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Well, just a follow-up.
Sorry.
Mr. Chair. Yeah, but if you can be not in good standing and still not be forfeited. So what this means is that if you don't file that personal property return for a year, then you would be listed. I mean, you still be listed as in good standing. Then all of a sudden, then you're forfeited if you don't file it within the next year.
So if I could explain what this bill is trying to do is it's trying to reconcile the current practice by SSTAT versus the statute. According to the statute, if you fail to file just once as a Maryland business, you would technically be considered forfeited. While in practice, SSTAT has been lenient. They give companies another grace period for another year. So they would have failed to file 2 times to be considered forfeited. So this bill is simply trying to codify this grace period so that the statute is consistent with the department's current practice. That's it.
So in other words, nothing changes from what's happening. They're just making what they're doing legitimate or legal or whatever.
Correct.
Right.
Are they still charging a late fee when you finally do file?
Supposedly, but I don't know to what extent they are actually enforcing it.
Chairman, I have a question.
Delia Mounts.
I mean, usually this form is, it'll have a list of items and it says, do you wish to change or alter any of these items? And if you don't respond, this is the assessed amount. Am I off on am I on a different form? Am I speaking about a different form?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't know. I would have to look at it.
Because ordinarily there's a form that goes to the business that lists all their personal property and assesses a value. Maybe that's, well,
That's form 1. That's what you're talking about.
okay. Yeah, the form comes and it's listed, boom, boom, boom. This is what your personal property's been. And do you have any changes to make? And you have to sign it. And if you don't sign it or send it in, then it is assumed that that is your, it's considered to be a consented. Maybe this is a different situation for first-time filers, but it doesn't quite add up to what I'm asking about, I think.
Like I say, guys, maybe I'm not following the thing, but it sounds like what the bill is doing is what's already being done. It's just that they're not supposed to do it. Or they're not legally able to do it. And so this provides the legal basis for them to provide a grace period that they otherwise are not authorized to provide.
Right.
So it sounds like to me, if you're pro-business, you're pro this bill.
But because I'm confused, I might go no and ask for dispensation on the floor and go green on the floor. But I'm a little.
You can always do that.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I thought only Rick did that.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I agree with you that this is definitely a pro-business bill. And the balance is that when somebody goes online looking for a certificate of good standing, provided that actually means that, and it's not just a mechanism to allow somebody the ability to not file their personal property return. I mean, it sounds like to me this is probably a good bill, although no, it's a good bill. I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you. It's a very simple, great pro-business bill.
Well, a lot of homeowners associations have their organizations go forfeit because they don't know any better. And then frankly, taking your company from forfeit back to good standing is a fairly simple matter. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So it really does come down to reporting and paying the fee. It's a fee. It's, to be blunt.
Anyone else? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks,
Aye.
Delegate Fisher,
Aye.
Delegate Queen,
Yes.
Delegate Turner, Delegate Turner,
I said yes, yes.
yeah, but you gotta say it with the mute off.
I know, I just looked and it's on. I'm sorry.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Pippy,
Yes.
Delegate Mouts,
I'm gonna go no.
Delegate Wilson,
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Walker,
Yep.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Adams,
Aye.
Delegate Arndt,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
You muted.
Fennell,
Yes, yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
and Delegate Watson.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 866.
House Bill 866 was withdrawn by the sponsor.
Is it? Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna put that, all right, this is what I'm gonna do with that. Save 866 and I'm gonna put it with House Bill 328 and everything else below it, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. The motion is for withdrawn by the sponsor. So we're gonna let the vote for House Bill 866 count for House Bill 328, 747, 765, 906, 1126, and 1314. Is everybody with me on that?
Yes.
These are all the withdrawals plus 866, which isn't listed with the withdrawn. It was a late addition. Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
does anyone wish to be recorded in opposition to the withdrawals? I didn't think so. So all present voted aye. Now the withdrawals are out of the way. And we will go to House Bill 957.
House Bill 957 is the bill that prohibits a pawnbroker or other lending agent acting on behalf of a pawnbroker from converting interest charged on a pawn transaction into a fee that's collectible by the pawnbroker. Business Regulations Subcommittee recommended an unfavorable report.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on that? If not, Madam Vice Chair,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Crosby,
Yes.
Delegate Howard,
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian,
Yes.
Delegate Fennell,
Yes.
Delegate Arndt,
Yeah.
Delegate Adams,
Aye.
Delegate Chi,
Yes.
Delegate Walker,
Yeah.
Delegate Valderrama,
Aye.
Delegate Branch,
Yep.
Delegate Impalaria,
Yes.
Delegate Wilson,
No.
Delegate Mouts,
Yes.
Delegate Pippi,
Yes.
Delegate Jackson,
Yes.
Delegate Carey,
Yes.
Delegate Rogers,
Yes.
Delegate Turner,
Yes.
Delegate Queen,
No.
Delegate Fisher,
Yes.
Delegate Brooks.
Yes.
Motion carries. House Bill 958.
This is the bill that prohibits a pawnbroker or other lending agent acting on behalf of a pawnbroker from converting more than 10% of interest charged on a pawn transaction into a fee collectible by the pawnbroker within a 30-day period. Business Regulation Subcommittee also recommended an unfavorable report on this bill.
Is there a motion?
Move unfavorable.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. If not, does anyone wish to be recorded against the unfavorable motion for House Bill 958? Anyone? If not, all present voted aye. How about House Bill 968?
House Bill 968 is the bill that prohibits a pawnbroker or other lending agent acting on behalf of a pawnbroker from converting interest charged on a pawn transaction into a fee that's collectible by the pawnbroker and concurrently assessing an additional interest charge on the transaction. Business Regulation Subcommittee recommended unfavorable on this bill as well.
Move
Question.
unfavorable.
Second.
Delegate Walker.
I don't want to ask what the vote was in the subcommittee, but out of the three bills, there was so nothing was done on any of the three pawn shop bills, pawnbroker bills.
The subcommittee had a pretty robust discussion about the bills, and Delegate Wilson can, I guess, speak to it as well. But I think there was a feeling among some of the members that the subcommittee didn't have enough information about the extent of the problem. The testimony the committee received was just from the sponsor. There was no one else testifying in support of the bill. And then we just received written opposition from the Maryland Pawnbrokers Association.
Of course.
So there just wasn't, and the testimony in opposition was general to all three and just said, we're not aware of there being a problem. So there just wasn't a lot of information about really how prevalent the practice is and how much of a problem it is.
I mean, if I may ask, and Delegate, you run your gums any other time, you're being quiet now. But normally, I mean, who's going to come out and like kind of support these bills? Normally, it's the people being taken advantage of. The people that have pawned their stuff may be embarrassed. I'm not surprised the pawnbrokers came out and said no to it. What was your thought process with that, CP?
The point was basically we heard of one issue, one problem. Very seldomly do we pass a bill because one individual had an experience. And we went in with the intent on doing something until we discussed it. And pretty much everyone agreed we really didn't have enough information to find out if we were doing something substantive. And I don't think we need to be getting in the habit of doing a knee-jerk bill because we want to make sure that we make somebody happy or not. Because at the end of the day, we had one instance and that's all. And we couldn't even figure out what that instance was. And the three different bills kind of spun around that because I personally am not a fan of pawnbrokers. So I also make sure I stay very clear of my emotional, input on this because I'm not a fan of them at all. As I tried to go forward during our questioning of the presenter, which of course he took that offensively in some weird way. So at the end of the day, there was really nothing we could do because we really didn't know define the true scope of the problem. We couldn't just we're trying to shoehorn something in here with no true scope of a problem.
I would understand that, but I'm thinking like, how would you, unless you went to pawn shops, put a sheet out there and said, tell us about your problems with it. But most times when folks are dealing with pawn shops, they're dealing out of desperation, a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of fear. It's like the goods are gone. That's why I thought something just regulating how much somebody may get ripped off by a pawn shop may be just a start to it.
And again, we have a multitude. In fact, I wrote a lot of legislation in your county when I was a prosecutor.
Well, you need to do it in Charles County too, because y'all got a bigger pawn shop than we.
I appreciate you. But on that one, we realized that, again, we did not really define a problem. We can't legislate when we don't have a problem clearly defined. And that's what we had. And while you do agree, I do agree there are, but let's say in your county, you probably even know somebody who's a county council member. I'm sure she would receive complaints if indeed there are problems, pawn shops in, let's say, the Oxon Hill area. I'm sure some of you know would receive those complaints, transition them to us, and we could therefore move on with something more than a brief hyperbolic instance, which is one thing. So again, if you know somebody that it's in a county council and she wants to share that advice, I would love to hear it. But as of now, we didn't hear anything else.
No, it was the same point.
Mr. Chairman, are we debating an unfavorable bill at this moment?
Jay is.
Debating or asking questions?
Jay's pulling a
Yeah,
Martin
I'm
Fisher.
asking questions.
Well, we can
trying to-
debate an unfavorable motion. That's not the same as a whole.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Can I
Chairman.
hold this
Do
bill?
I need to hold this bill till I get my questions answered? I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Go ahead, man. I know.
No, we did put a lot of thought into it, Jay, because I appreciate your question. I really went in there with the intent on passing something. And amongst the five of us, we really could not stumble on what the problem was, legitimately. And if you look at the makeup of the subcommittee, we've got a bunch of hippies on there, no offense, Delegate Chi. And so it's not like we, didn't have all sides, firing, and nobody could identify the issue. Delegate Turner was on there too. And so we really, really did put a lot of effort into trying to find out what are we trying to solve here? Because I don't mind regulating, but we need to.
I just don't know if you ever would. That's like asking somebody, if they treated you fairly at an adult store, or if they, some people, they're just not going to come out and say it because of their consequences behind it. So I don't know if there's a way
You have clearly much quieter constituents than I do. They complain about trash on the road, puddles. They complain about everything, including how much they pay at strip clubs. I've had them come to me about.
All right, I'm gonna let Delegate Walker and Delegate Wilson, you guys can meet offline and discuss this ad nauseum. But the rest of us, we're ready to vote.
That last, I don't know about. They got proved out. I don't know if I can complain about.
Don't you all forget that people can listen in. So
I didn't say it.
All right, 968 unfavorable motion. Madam Vice Chair.
Yes.
Delegate Brooks.
Yes.
Delegate Fisher.
Yes.
Delegate Queen.
Yes.
Delegate Turner.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Carey.
Yes.
Delegate Jackson.
Yes.
Delegate Pippy.
Yes.
Delegate Mounts.
Yes.
Delegate Wilson.
Yes.
Delegate Impalaria.
Yes.
Delegate Branch. Delegate Branch, you're muted.
Might have fallen asleep.
Delegate Branch, are you there? Not Delegate Branch will be excused. Delegate Valderrama.
Aye.
Delegate Walker.
No. Did I do it right, Fisher?
Delegate Chi.
Yes.
Delegate Adams.
Aye.
Delegate Arentz.
Yes.
Delegate Fennell.
Yes.
Delegate Charkoudian.
Yes.
Delegate Howard.
Yes.
Delegate Crosby.
Aye.
And Delegate Watson.
Aye, and I don't consider anyone on this committee a hippie, for the record.
I do.
I do too.
Thank you.
I like granola.
House Bill 968, the motion carries. That looks like those are all, the remainers we already did. Those were withdrawn. We're meeting we got bill hearings all 4 days, remaining 4 days this week. We're on the floor every day. We may be voting a second time this week. I'm not sure yet. If we do, it'll be later in the week. Right now, I'm gonna try to give 24 hours notice. We are past that 48-hour understanding we had among the leadership. So it's gonna be cut down a day and could be further depending on as we get closer to crossover. But for now, we're at 24 hours. The subcommittees, I think, are cranking up. Alcohol, I know, met today and got some more going. I think UI still have some meetings to go. So there's a lot going on, everybody. Thank you for your work and have a good evening.
Mr. Chair,
Sir,
real quick, UI Subcommittee is meeting Wednesday morning from 8 to 9:30. Our second meeting.
are there any other announcements?
Mr. Chair, are we meeting Friday
Yes,
at the same time?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Everyone have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Be safe, everybody.